Hey everybody, welcome to a Wednesday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder, sitting up here with comedians known as Talent and another comedian known as Fig. These guys have been in the business for such a long time. They've been in comedy films, they've been in comedy specials, comedy TV shows, comedy tours, even comedy commercials. And now they have joined me in something that we call a comedy sports talk show. Things where we get ready to talk sports with a twist of comedy. Now, this is what we always do. And we got to jump right into it because we got a special guest. We want to get ready to jump in. And let's just start out first by saying the COVID report. If you're all not familiar, I do a COVID report. Start out the gate every day. The first one today is Villanova versus Virginia. Is basketball, college basketball, that's supposed to be scheduled at Madison Square Garden this weekend. Got canceled. You know, if you follow college basketball, that's a big game that happens every single year. That they got postponed to, of course, another unknown date. And in college football, Kansas State is opting out of the bowl season, and we all know how much money that is. Like, that's a ridiculous amount of money just to opt out the bowl game. But today is a special edition, right, guys? We got to get ready to let in our guest. And our guest, in case y'all don't know, our guest is Shannon the Cannon Briggs. This dude,
let's go, champ.
One of the best fighters in the game, world heavyweight champ boxer. He won the world heavyweight championship twice. Also got a WBO champ belt under his belt. He was represented the United States in the Olympics. He had 68 fights, 60 wins, 53 by knockouts. He even had an acting career. He was in Bad Boys 2. He was in Transporter 2, and he started out all of that. And one of my favorite shows was New York Undercover.
Yeah.
Mr. Briggs, first of all, thank you for joining the show. We really greatly appreciate you jumping in with the box seats. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, man, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me. I feel great being on your show, man. It's an honor. You know, me and Talent go way back, man.
Yes, sir.
30 years or so, man. That's my boy, you know what I mean? So when Talent asked me to come on, I was like, anything for the brother, you know what I mean?
Hey, when I met Shannon Cannon Briggs, he had knocked out his first 3 people. He was like, I'm knocking people out the rest of my life.
Right. hey, and that was in the club. chill.
Chad, thank you appreciate you for jumping in the seat, man. I got to be honest with you, man. I couldn't wait to get you on this show. Talent been talking to me for a while, and the conversation about having you join the show has been heated up, especially after we saw the Mike Tyson and of course, the Roy Jones fight, because we were real anxious to say, wasn't Shannon Briggs supposed to be part of that? So that's my first question.
Right.
Were you or were you not supposed to be part of that fight when Tyson would put it together with Roy Jones?
Well, we had discussed it. I had spoke to Mike people, and we had some discussion, but unfortunately, we wasn't on the same page, and they moved forward with Roy, and I thought it was a great show. It was great to see 2 legends come back and just put on a great show and entertain the world. I mean, who would ever thought we would see Mike Tyson in the ring again, let alone with the great Roy Jones. So it was great to see, but I think hopefully we could get something going for next year. I mean, I'm all for it. I think it'd be great for the business. I think it'd be great for boxing itself. I mean, think about it. 2 guys, both from the same neighborhood, both from Brownsville, Brooklyn, fighting in Brooklyn, hopefully at the Barclays or even at the Yankee Stadium. I think it'd sell a lot of tickets. I think it'd be a great entertainment moving, towards the fight as far as the press conferences and all that, because, I'm not going to back down. And, that's Mike Tyson. That's Iron Mike. He never going to back down. I think when the people see 2 dudes from Brooklyn coming together, it's going to be a lot. But it'd be all for the love, an exhibition fight. Mike is my hero, and it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Hey, Shannon, yo, let's keep it real, yo. Let's keep it real, Cannon. They've been running from you. All the heavyweights. I followed you on social media when he had this campaign going. What was it, Klitschko? One of the brothers?
Yeah.
And when Klitschko was the champ, Shannon trying to get his bout in. Like, I'm challenging you, bro.
Right.
What time I get my bout? He followed this dude everywhere. I seen him interrupt the dude at lunch and eat his food.
Let's go, champ.
He was like Mr. T in Rocky 3.
That's right.
At the press conference.
But they've been running from him, you know what I mean? When I seen the fight, I'll be honest with you. And I know, sometimes, being a professional boxer, you got to say certain things or not say certain things. But to me, when I seen that fight, I'm looking at Roy Jones, in all respect to his legacy and everything. In that fight, he didn't come to give us a show. The whole show came from Tyson. All that sticking the jab out, running, not looking at. Man, last time I seen that was 2 hobos on the street. This here?
Shit.
What's that? So you came to my mind. I was like, yo, Shannon would have been a better fight because they would have gave a better Brooklyn show.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? You can't give it all in one shot. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a great appetizer. Now people want to see what's next, and hopefully we can get it on for 2021. I'm thinking hopefully, April, May, June, whatever. Hopefully, with the COVID, vaccine being out there, hopefully it'll be opening up soon and we can get it on, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Shannon, can you turn your phone this way so everybody can see the phone?
Oh, turn your phone sideways. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Fig, you got a question for my man?
Yeah, man. Shannon, man, listen. From Brooklyn, Brooklyn love. Man,
yes.
Listen. It seemed like they ducking you in the ring, and then it seemed like they also ducking you out of the ring too, man. Like, what's up with that, man? I mean, you're knocking them out in the club, in the ring. Why they running from the great Shannon Briggs, man? Please explain it to us, man.
Oh, the sound went out.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, somebody was trying to call me. No, I was saying for the most part, I'm still around, man. I feel as though, I've been around forever, man. Decades, 4 decades I've been around, sticking around, doing my thing, and hopefully now with the whole thing with the social media, I'm out to more people get to see my personality, and I'm making it happen. So hopefully I can get a big fight next year. If not, I'm still gonna fight regardless, y'all. I'm still having fun. I started the Let's Go Champ campaign years back when I myself was going through some depression and I got myself together. I lost weight and I used the words "Let's Go Champ" as a mantra to keep me going. So that's what's keeping me going regardless. So whether I fight Tyson or whoever, I'm still on my Let's Go Champ.
Right. So Shannon, let me ask you this, man. It's being that you have a lot of experience in the fight game and everything else, has anybody ever approached you like to commentate on the games and things like that? Because I'm sure you had a lot to say after that Nate Robinson fight just happened. I mean, I can only imagine.
Chill. Well, actually, I've done some commentating in the past. I've done quite a few shows for ESPN. I used to do Thunderbox back in the days. I've done quite a few different networks over the years, but I've always been, trying to get a title fight, man. That was always my thing, get a title fight and business. I'm a serial entrepreneur, to be honest with you. I'm always been outside of the ring. I've always been, whether it was acting, I was creating a business, I had a restaurant. I was always moving and shaking. Talent can tell you, we go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seems like everybody's calling him now that he on the show. You know what I mean?
they know I'm on your show. They know I'm on your show.
Everybody followed you.
Oh, I'm sorry, champ. That was me.
Oh man, my bad. Now you gotta understand. I cannot believe this is really him. I'm like, no, because I'm such a fan of this man. Like this is like Richard Pryor to me right now.
Wow. Let me tell you something, champ. Let me tell you something. First, on my list of people I don't want to fight, it's got doggone Shannon Briggs. You write that down. Mike Tyson. Yeah. Let me try Roy Jones. It's 100 pounds lighter. I saw you working out, champ. I saw your show. You look just as impressive as Mike.
Oh man, listen, thanks, Rodney, man. Listen. Rodney, I'm such a fan of yours. You have no idea. Wow. I gotta tell this is unbelievable. But hey, Talent, I owe you one. This is one of my biggest. This is one of my best comedians. Talent to tell you, I've been rocking with the comedians since the early '90s. We used to be at the Peppermint Lounge.
Yeah.
Tell him, Talent.
Yeah, that's a fact right there, man. Wow. That's a fact. And he's been supporting comedy, man, from day one, going on 30 years, man. We appreciate it. That's why I've always been a fan of your work ethic. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people talk smack and they don't have a jab to go with it. You gotta respect Cannon Briggs because them cannons, man. I seen you hit a couple of dudes, man. I was in the living room and my ribs hurt. I had pay-per-view bruises.
Hey, I seen Briggs hit somebody so hard one time he knocked my TV off the stand.
Hey, Hey, Talent is New York comedy. Like he was the one back in the days, New York, New Jersey. Remember Tina? Where's Tina at?
Tina Graham still out there. Shout out to Tina Graham.
Shout out to Tina Graham, the godmother of comedy.
Yeah, man. Tina Graham, but my man Bob. Remember my man Bob?
Bob Sumner.
Bob Sumner, that's my boy. Hey, yo, Talent put it down. I'm so grateful for the shows he did, New York, New Jersey, because it was entertainment for us. It was so live, man. You're a good brother, Talent.
Salute, brother. Salute to
you.
Hey, Champ, it's an honor to have you on the show, man. You had such a great career and it's still going. Like, what's it like to even consider getting back in the ring as a grown man? Like, you first started fighting, you was a boy.
Yeah.
And now you're a man and you're thinking about doing it again. How is that mindset?
Well, honestly, Roddy, like for me, it's a business. So like I'm like the mailman. I get up and go to work, do my thing. Like I said earlier, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I've always used boxing kind of like as a platform to keep not only ideas, but for networking. Because I've always been involved with businesses. I always knew boxing, I need something to fall back on. So a lot of people criticize me for that. They was like, oh, you're not full-hearted into the game. But I always felt as though, if something happened to me in boxing, what am I have to fall back on? So I always kind of like try to juggle both hats, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, I never really walked away from boxing. I just took some years off because I couldn't get no fights. I was trying to fight, for the title. I was trying to get big fights, and everybody was ducking me. You feel me? So I was spending mad bread, traveling around the world, going to Germany, going to Russia, going everywhere trying to get fights. It was costing me crazy. So I said, let me get more focus on my business. And I was fortunate that I did that. I lucked up. I hooked up with a company in Michigan, and we came out with the Cannon OG, which is my premier flower line. OG, Cannon OG, is basically in Michigan. Once we got Michigan, we went to Boston. We got licensed in Massachusetts. So now I'm in the cannabis business full time.
So Shannon, let me ask you this, brother. Does that mean that when you was trying to get into the other, I don't even know what they call those other type of fights, the MMA type of fights, things like that. Is that why you leaned and did a couple of those and looked into doing some of those type of fights because you were having a hard time getting regular fights?
Yeah, I fought in K1. I dibbled and dabbled with everything I could get to get fights on because for a long time I was just spinning bread trying to get fights, and I was being blackballed in the game from different promoters for years, man. I done been up and down. I have a crazy career, man. Now it's not like I'm not to blame for some of it, but I had a crazy career. I'm talking about with networks, with promoters, managers. I'm talking about the behind the scenes where I've been blackballed 3 times in the boxing game, but I still came back. That's why I'm the road warrior. I'm the Black Rambo. You feel me?
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
You got a question for him?
Yeah, man. I just think it's kind of crazy, man, that you and I, the great Shannon Briggs, have so much in common. You said you're a serial entrepreneur, and I love cereal. You know what I mean?
Look at you had to see Rodney's face that whole time. Like,
listen, what do you think about some of the younger fighters coming up now, man? I got an eye on this kid now, man. I think his name is Tank Davis, man. I'm looking at this young kid, man. He looked like a small version of Shannon Briggs, man. He's knocking them out, this young dude, man. What do you think about some of the younger fighters coming up in the game, man?
Impressive, man. Young warriors, man. You gotta love it, man. They're keeping the game alive. Tank is he's garnering a lot of attention. He's out there. I'm impressed by him. There's a lot of young boys coming. Look at Errol Spence, man. Errol Spence is a warrior. He just came over a terrific win. So it's some young gunners out there, and as we can see, the heavyweight division is always staying hot. You got Anthony Joshua coming off a big win, and you got Tyson Fury, 2 UK boys over there that's aiming towards a huge fight. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Right. Shannon, so what do you think the future of boxing looks like? Now, do you think it's going to be prosperous in the next couple of years? Because it look like WMMA or the MMA or whatever they call it, it look like that's moving more in this bright spotlight of what's going on in the boxing industry. And it look like every boxing that we all know and we grew up to love is fading out. So I'm kind of concerned. What's your thoughts?
Nah, not at all. I mean, listen, it's different sports, but at the same time, they're both contact sports. MMA, a lot of people love it. But look, every time there's a huge fight between an MMA and a boxer, it's always huge ratings. So that's always good for boxing. I'm happy that the MMA is around. It was obviously bound to happen. It's the nature of man to want to be savage and fight. So, so you know what I mean? It's here to stay. And I think boxing is a totally different sport because you talking about in boxing, MMA guys will tell you it's totally different. You can have the best game in the world, a floor game, a ground game, but when it comes to them hands is something different. And then but what I will say is this: what they have done, to be honest with you, they made boxing tougher because now you can get a guy who's like an MMA guy and he can just have full condition, not be great, but get into the ring with a guy who has the great skills and all that, but he don't have the condition, and the MMA guy will beat him because he'll wear him down. So that's what's making boxers have to step up their game and be in better shape. Boxers have to train now twice as hard because these MMA guys, they'll gun you down.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Tam, you got a question for him?
No, that's super interesting right there. The only question I got for you is, we talked about the 3-time comeback and all that. We talked about the comeback fight with Tyson and Jones. So let me ask you this. Is there a time frame? Because I think back in the day, people capped a time frame on a boxing career, like you can box up to 35, 40 years old. But now we're looking at it. I think the game has been changed where we can't necessarily cap it at an age anymore.
No, because like back in the days when you was 50 years old, you was old. 60, 70 years old you was an old person. My mom and my grandmother died at 51. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm 49, and look at me. Back in the days, a man 50 looked totally different. So the times have changed altogether. We're different age, different. We got different food. People learn so much more about science that people are living longer. People are healthier. Not living such a harder life as they did back in the day. So with that being said, man is evolving in that way where men are you can see men are older. Look at me, I'm 49. But I'm in phenomenal
shape.
Let's go,
let's go.
If 49. I take off my shirt, y'all get scared over there.
Let's hear for the 49ers.
Yo. Champ, man. You spoke to the heavyweights. Where are the American heavyweights? First question. And I think a guy that's kind of outside the loop like you were is a guy like Terrence Crawford. This guy is dope. He's not getting the shots. And you like, how come this guy can't get a shot? And like, what can we do to see him more? And George Foreman fought as an older man too.
Yes,
he did, and won.
Yes, he did great. I think Terrence Crawford is he's in position right now for a great fight with him and Errol Spence. I think that'll be a terrific fight. That'll be like that's a tough one. You're talking like Mugabe Hagler. That's gonna be a great fight. I mean, that's a real good fight. I'm looking forward to that fight. I don't know if they're gonna make it, but that's a big fight. But Crawford is a beast, man. I remember him as a kid coming to the gym. I was training, and he walked in the gym. He had to be like 10 years old, man. And he was mean then, champ.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Right. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and I gotta call you the Cannon on this one. Let me ask you this, Cannon.
Yes, brother.
Where is the career going now? With it looks like you might still jump into the ring again. You got the cannabis thing going on. Are you going to get back into films and television? Because everybody knows who you are. We know about the cannabis. Yeah, you're going to do some couple of other things like films, television. Anything related to that?
Yeah, man. Like I'm always looking for deals. I'm always hustling. I'm always putting things together. I like to stay active, stay busy. I just recently started training training hard. Mike again motivated me as well. His comeback and a potential fight with him. But I gotta stay alive. I have to be. You can make all the money in the world, but if you ain't healthy, you're gonna die. You feel me? So I gotta be alive to enjoy it. So I'm in a good place. Whereas all my career I was stuck. I was kind of like trying to find a way out of boxing. But now I'm in a position where I want to box for fun, and I've never been in this position before. I've always had to do it to make a living, making me pay for my house, pay for this, pay for that. Pay for my next fight, get ready for my next fight. Now I'm in a position where I work for myself now. I have a clinic as well. I have a clinic called Alpha DNA Medical Health, and I do that. I have a pharmacy as well. So I'm a mover and shaker. So now me boxing is perfect timing because now I don't have to do it because I have to. I do it because I want to, you know?
I'm glad you said that, champ, because now they have this new thing where when you box and they figure out the purse and what each fighter's making, you can sign off a beneficiary. My name is James Talon Harris. My social is one.
Need it bags. But
I
to speak on that, champ, investments, yeah, I look for things as far as movies. I don't know as far as me being in them, but you know, people ask me, yo, won't you be in this movie, that movie? But I don't know. But if you guys put something together, like Taylor said, I'm a big supporter of the comedy world.
Yeah.
If you guys put something together, I'm always there for you.
Wow.
Hey,
Champ, you spoke to having a medical place, and what's your thoughts on head injuries in boxing, man? I mean, it's part of the game. Will we see boxing change like we see football change?
Well, I think, you know, to be honest with you, I'm glad you asked that question, Rodney, because that's what got me into the cannabis business. Myself, many years in the game, suffering from depression. I was prescribed medication for depression, Depakote, Seroquel, Paxil, Zoloft, and it ballooned me up in weight. I got fat. I was 403 pounds.
Whoa.
I was suffering from depression, man. I was about to go. I was feeling suicidal, and then a friend of mine was like, "Yo, champ, you should try cannabis." And then I started smoking weed, and it was life-changing for me, Rodney. It was life-changing. Basically, I went from 403. I lost 168 pounds. I came up with the mantra, "Let's go, champ." And it was my self-motivation. It was the mantra was about me motivating myself and keep going. And I contribute that to cannabis. When I was taking prescription drugs, I ballooned up in weight. I was suffering from I was quiet. I wasn't myself. I was like that for like 3 years before I started smoking cannabis, and it pulled me out. So here I am today talking to you guys saying, "Let's go, champ." And I'm growing. I'm actually in a business now that's, you know, changed my life. I'm actually growing cannabis legally in Massachusetts, Michigan, and we're working on a license right now for Jersey. You know what I mean? So things are looking up.
It's amazing the kind of ideas you get right after you smoke a joint.
Ain't that something? Life-changing, champ.
Well, Champ, thank you for joining the show, man. Is there a social media outlet and things like that we can follow you? Because, you know, we want to know all about your cannabis information. We want to know about your future, what you're doing, all that. We need to know all that. So, especially when you make that announcement that you're going to fight Iron Mike Tyson, we want to know all that first.
Yeah, that's the fight that's the fight we need. That's the only fight that'll really motivate me is to fight Mike in the exhibition. But lighter. With that being said, man, you can check me out on Instagram, Cannon_Briggs. You know, I'm on Facebook. I'm an old man though. I'm on everything old. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Twitter. You feel me?
Black Planet.
I'm around, man. ShannonBriggs.com is where you can catch me at as well. And I'm around, man. Cannonbiz.com. CANNONBIS. Cannonbiz.com. Check out my website.
Well, I appreciate you for joining the show, but I also got to tell you this. I don't know if you know or not, but there's a lot of people who carbon copied your profile, bro. You are all over social media. People stealing your profile.
It's all good. I know. It's Cannon_Briggs.
I couldn't
but it's all good. It's the kids. They love the champ, but I love them too.
Yeah, that's good, man. But thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you, and I'm sure we got to give you a clap, man. We got to appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're one of the best fighters in the game, man. We really
thank you, brothers, man. Hey, man, listen, we needed to put out a new comedy movie with starring you brothers, man.
Yeah. Hey, we got you on deck, fam. I'm gonna give you a jewel because I'm a business jewel maker, right? I'm a money maker with anthems and marketing. Cannonbiz.
Yeah,
I
like
got cannabis. Shannon's Cannonbiz.
I like that.
Check it out.
You thinking, brother? You think?
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. Thank you, brother.
Shannon Briggs for joining the show, y'all. We appreciate you, Shannon. Thank you, man. Now, if y'all don't know, that was one of the best boxers in the game. You know, he got the WBO belt, which is one of the hardest belts to get. And without, I mean, dude, you see his record: 68 fights, 60 wins, and 53 by knockout. That
crazy.
Right.
And that idea that Talent had, I'm like, man, did Talent smoke a joint before he got that idea? He's like, hold on.
Hey, that's what I do.
Yes.
Hey, Fig, that's what I do, fam. All day over here. You know that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Hey, great job, Talent, man. Man, I'm a big fan of his, and it's crazy to find out that these big time artists be fans of ours. That was crazy for me.
Hey, don't that feel great though, Rodney?
Oh, man, it's amazing.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, can we jump into the show, y'all? Because we ain't got a lot of time, man. I want to talk about a couple things real fast.
We actually could end the show right there, Frank.
I'm about to go.
I'll see you later.
And they look at Rodney. Rodney's hilarious. Let me just first jump out and say we got to give a big ups to Tara Vanderveer from Stanford. She finally eventually passed Pat Summitt for the most victories in Division I college basketball. Got to give that lady a big ups. She about to catch Coach K. You know that, right? She about to catch Coach K from Duke. She is fastly on that. So if you all want to say something real quick about that, we can. If not, I want to jump in and start talking about the NBA preseason, which jumped off last night. Any words for Pat Summitt or Sarah Vanderveer?
I mean, Pat Summitt set a huge record, and to catch that is remarkable in itself, and to still be winning, winning, and she's got a lot of career ahead of her. So she set a benchmark that's going to be hard to catch.
Yeah, real. Like
congratulations!
Yeah, big congratulations, because that's a milestone to be able to do that, to have that many wins.
That's great.
That's great.
The way Duke is losing and the way she's winning, she might be able to catch him. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not out of the world, you know. But let's talk about last night, man. The NBA obviously has a couple of preseason games. James Harden hit the floor for the Rockets. Let's just say this. He was lackluster, to say the least. Were you gonna say that?
They killed him on social media. I didn't see the game, but I'm riding back from South Jersey, Philly area, and going through Twitter, and all it is the same picture of him when he took the floor. They called him Thick Ross. They put up the before and after. They was killing him about I guess playing around the clubs, and put some pounds on or something.
Yo, man, let me tell you something. I think he was hanging out with Ben Fatburger Roethlisberger, and they was eating a lot. They was eating at the Fatburger because he was putting on them pounds. I was like,
it looked crazy. They killed him.
Beard.
Well, I'll say this. Roger, did you see the game? Because roll to you. I don't know if you saw the game or not, but Houston looked like they on to something. The way Boogie Cousins looked like a difference maker for them. If James Harden was to stay, I was like, what's wrong with this boy? Because I watched a little bit of the game. I was like, you know what? Houston has to better. The team is better now than I've seen them look in a couple of years.
I mean, Houston has never been a bad squad. They always produce a good team, and if they can figure out some team ball. And get off that hero ball, they could be a great squad. I know Harden is wanting to get out of there, but I think he should stay. You can't really rely on Boogie Cousins the whole season, but if he can give you, 40 games, that's great.
Right. Talon, you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I think that is you can't rely on Houston the whole season. It's preseason, and I think that coming out that opening little preseason, I'm not proving. I do like some John Wall highlights. I did enjoy, but other than that, they got to beat a few significant teams, and they got to look like they're cohesive unit, because we all know Houston's that girl in the club that tease you every time.
Here go that analogy.
You never get no ass though. She'll tease the hell out of you. 3 apple martinis later, my girls are ready to go.
So Fig. John Wall had 3 steals last night, right? Boogie Cousins was doing damage down low. I know it's preseason. I know it's one game, but if I'm a Houston Rockets fan, I'm kind of excited. Aren't you?
Yeah, man. If you're a Houston Rockets fan, you got to be excited. But before I go any further, the word of the day is cohesiveness. Thank you, Talent. Thank you. Yes. Boogie Cousins look good. Boogie looked like he put a little boogie back in his sneakers, man. And he got a little boogie in there. And it's like James Harden and Boogie Cousins have reversed roles, because Boogie slimmed down and Harden has ballooned up to center size. Maybe they should switch positions. Maybe Harden ought to play center and Boogie ought to play point guard, because they have switched belly shapes. You know what I mean? Harden looks like he been just sitting around drinking beer and having all kind of crumbs and snacks and chips in that beard while he was eating and watching TV during COVID season.
He was doing he looked like he was doing a whole lot of extra in that little bit. And that 6-8 weeks off, he looked hard. I don't know how he's doing.
Don't nobody want him on another team. That's why Houston can't trade him, because he get you go right to the team. They put you on the scale. It's like, listen, man, you need to join the Houston Oilers.
Well, let me say this. Speaking of new look teams, I got a good chance. As a Boston Celtics fan, I got a good chance last night to look at the new look of Boston Celtics, which they had a couple of players who didn't play, but the new look Sixers right there. I will say right now, the Sixers added some shooting. They added some depth off the bench, and we all know they got a brand new coach. So, Rodney, I'm gonna start with you. If you're a Philadelphia Sixers fan, are you excited by the additions of the team? And again, it's too early to say off one preseason game, but most teams only going to have 2 games. But I think you could be a little bit encouraged by what you saw. Wouldn't you say that, Rodney?
Absolutely, man. I mean, we've been really watching the Sixers. Doc Rivers is out there. That's going to affect everything. Of course, you got Embiid. You got the young and this team has got so much upside. They wasn't a team with that we was looking for to do a whole lot, but now it feels like something could happen. The only thing stopping them is they're in Philadelphia.
Okay, I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you with that talent. I'll say this. I think they also found the star that nobody saw coming in that Shake Milton kid. That kid was on fire last year.
Shake and play.
Yeah, if people don't know, that kid was phenomenal. And I'll say this. If he is be able to be consistent and keep doing on with top of what they're doing, and on top of with the stars they already have, they might be the surprise to come out of the East this season, because if they could play and they put it all together, man, they could beat just about anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to come down to the coaching. Can the coach move this team the way he needs to move it, play people at the right time? Because I find, like, really, when you're looking for that consistency, it comes down to knowing your players and know who to play together, when to play together. Mm-hmm. Because simple 2 or 3 subs here and there can make your team look horrible when you're not really horrible. It's just that you're not seeing it and coaching it right. Mm-hmm. So you got the talent. You got the talent.
Right. Fig, when I saw the game last night and I saw Doc on the court and I saw him get put out Shake, the first thing I literally had a reminiscent moment of when the Celtics did the same thing with Rajon Rondo. Nobody saw him coming out of nowhere. It was like I saw history repeat itself with Shake Milton. So that's what I saw when I saw the game. When you saw the game last night, because I know you watched it, what was your thoughts?
Man, Shake looked good, man. But here's the thing that really grabbed my attention. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons was like hugging and kissing on the court like they was best friends, man. It seemed like whatever problems they had, they seemed to make up. You see them every time somebody do something, they was hugging each other and giving each other high fives and stuff like that. I'm like, wait a minute. If these dudes is friends, because that's always been the problem, is that these dudes had tension between them. We knew that Ben Simmons was good on his own. You know what I mean? We knew Joel Embiid was good on his own. It's just that these guys didn't have no chemistry. With those 2 guys having chemistry, you got Doc Rivers as your coach. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Sixers also pick up the other Curry, Seth Curry?
Yep.
Isn't he on their team? Now, this kid, he's not his brother, but he's a knockdown 3-point shooter, man. And I mean, very efficient at it. So with those guys playing and those pieces, man, if they could just gel and create a little chemistry, the Sixers is going to be problems, baby.
They added Seth Curry, they added Danny Green, they added Dwight Howard, and it looked like it changed a whole lot of their Sixers team. But I will go on the record and I will say this: I think that we can expect them to do some serious damage in the East, especially from the new look thing I saw last night. Now let's flip the script real fast. Let's talk about Golden State, because Golden State last night, Golden State didn't look nowhere near good.
Yo, look at Rodney, man. You see what Rodney put?
Yeah, I see it. Big hair is incredible.
Yo, man.
You crazy, Rodney. You crazy. Talent, when you saw Golden State off last night by a jumper, Steph Curry did his thing, and he was playing up all that stuff, man. I don't know, man. I don't think Golden State, again, I know it's one game. I know you can't get too excited about after one game. I know you can't get too up and you can't get too down. I just don't like what I saw from Golden State last night. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know you can be for this one game because they was getting their ass whooped.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking about every time I see the first quarter score, the halftime score, I'm like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's just the end result. It's the whole damn game. You should be worried.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have to say the same thing.
How worried, Talent?
You should be so damn worried.
Okay.
This is how worried you should be. Golden State is now the Silver State. It's no longer golden. That's how worried you should be. This type of team, to lose to that team, first of all, forget the loss at the end. Look at the ass whooping up leading up to the end. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the ass whoop, that shouldn't happen to Golden State. Not right now, not never.
Not this early. Not this early. What you think, Rodney?
I mean, it's early, guys. It's early. We're in the midst of the worst football season ever. You think this basketball season's gonna be good? No. It's gonna be horrible basketball too. And last season we only got to see basically the playoffs. Now we get to see the whole season. I'm telling y'all, you think Fat James Harden is all we're gonna see? You're gonna see some more fat players. It's gonna be a horrible season. Write it down. And LeBron, the only one gonna be in shape because he just never get out of shape.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's obviously true. Faye, you want to drop in 2 cents in there?
Yeah, man. Well, here's the thing about Golden State, man. The center didn't play. The new the draft pick, the second round draft pick. Weissman didn't play last night. I forget who else didn't play, but there was a couple of players that didn't play last night. And the guy who hit the game winning shot for Sacramento is never going to do that again. You can mark that down right here. I'm pulling a Pelican brief. I'm making a prediction. I'm taking my glasses and I'm trading them in for Rodney's crystal ball, and I'm going to say that this guy will never, ever, ever do that again. He hit a 3-point to have them win by one. He's never, ever. You never heard this guy, and you're never going to see him again. As a matter of fact, he ain't even on the team no more.
First of all, it don't matter. Don't agree with Rodney. Rodney don't know what the hell he's talking about. Rodney talking about you're going to see more fat people. LeBron the only one in shape. LeBron's wife can't cook. Everybody know that. I'll stay in shape too if my woman could cook. I'm not too young. He eating Hot Pockets and Pop-Tarts. Of course he's in shape.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all go with that. But tonight, I'm kind of excited about the new look Phoenix Suns. They're going up against the Lakers, and I can't say that. I mean, LeBron and AD is going to probably play a little bit. I expect the Suns to beat them because the Lakers not rolling out their whole team and everything else. But I'm excited about the new look Phoenix Suns. And I'll say this, Rodney. I'm gonna start out with you. They might be a team that they're gonna scare a couple people coming down because you know how Chris Paul plays. You know what I mean? So you put him with Devin Booker, boy. Woo! What you think, Rod? We don't agree.
Phoenix Suns don't continue to be horrible. It's something about playing out there in the hot ass weather, man. You can't. Phoenix ain't no. Chris Paul should have went to the Clippers. He should have went to the Lakers. He should have went to one of those teams out there in Phoenix. It's a money grab. Devin Booker, I like the guy. He's a great guy, but they not gonna be. It's too many teams better than them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to be excited, you be excited, Frank. But the rest of us gonna look at the real life.
Okay, all right. Well, Fig, do you think that they're gonna be an exciting team to watch and they're gonna scare a couple people?
I'm anxious to see if they can recapture the magic they had in the bubble. Mm-hmm. They went 8-0 in the bubble, and because they were so far behind, they didn't make it into the playoffs. Let me just tell you this: had they made it to the playoffs, I think that they would have been a problem in the bubble. So what I'm trying to see if they can recapture that. I like that the center Ayton. I think this is going on his 3rd year, and that's usually when players come into their own. We know Devin Booker's been a monster ever since he was a rookie. and he's getting a little seasoning on himself. They got Chris Paul, which is a consummate professional and a general. Last but not least, I'd like to see my man Monty Williams. I'd like to see what he could do moving forward, because I like Monty Williams as a coach, man. He's knowledgeable, he knows the game, and he seems like he could possibly get his team ready. Tonight is going to be their first preview against the Lakers. Let's see what LeBron and Anthony Davis look like against these dudes, man. I'm anxious to watch that game.
Yeah, let's see what they look like.
My Knicks play tonight.
Talon, what you think?
I think the Lakers gonna whoop their ass. I think Phoenix, we're not gonna see that like Fig said, he's waiting to see that recapturing of that flow they had. I think we'll see it, but I don't think we'll see it early in the season. I think we'll see it later, somewhere like mid-season, because these, you know what, it's a very young team, and they're not locked in the joint. You know what I mean? They're not locked in the joint. So I think that because they're not locked in a bubble, you're going to see them real regular, mediocre, 50-50, and then they'll get back to that flow.
All right, let me talk. You see, he throwing me off my game, Rodney.
First of all, you know how much elder bards you got to listen to get your head like that. You know how many songs you got to play.
Oh my God,
Rodney's
on the road. Let's talk about the NFL, man. There's a big game this weekend. The Saints are playing the Chiefs. The big discussion is should Jameis Winston play for the Saints, or should Taysom Hill play for the Saints? I don't know who should play for the Saints, but if Drew Brees is ready, I think they better roll that boy out there, because you're going against the Chiefs, and the Saints can't afford to lose no more games. They already fell this past weekend when they lost. They fell from out of the top place to second place, and they were looking forward to that first round bye. They ain't getting it now, so I don't know. So I'm gonna start with Rodney. Rodney, what you think?
I've been calling for Jameis Winston since the beginning of the season. Drew Brees is done. They may have made some promises to their young man number 7. They may have told him that if something happened, we're gonna bring you in, and he's been a real good gadget guy for them. But Jameis Winston got LASIK surgery. Let the man throw the ball.
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
throw the ball. Give him a shot. Give him a shot. He came in off the bench. He came in off the bench. He had a great day off the bench, and then go to him. He got to play this week. He got to.
Yeah, he's taller. He's bigger. He's more stronger. He's more dominant.
He's ran an NFL team a whole season.
A couple seasons. Talent, what you think?
I agree with Rodney, man. It should be Jameis. You got to let the boy play. I'm a petty dude, so I would petty coach. I would start with one quarterback and every mistake switch. every mistake I go, come on, and he make a mistake, get out, get your ass out of it. Come on, Jameis, go back in there. All right, I would do that the whole game.
Fig, what you think?
Yeah, man, I think Taysom Hill is the 2020 version of Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. The kid he throws the ball okay. His thing is get the ball and run it. I'm like, come on, man. You don't think nobody gonna figure that out? Drew Brees, like Rodney said, Drew Brees ain't coming back. Drew Brees is 40 years old, and he cracked 12 ribs. And here's the thing. There's only 8.
I was about to say, do we have 12 ribs? I was about to say, what rib joint did he go to get 4 more?
Yo, Drew Brees, he cracked ribs on somebody else's body. He ain't coming. He ain't coming back. They better get Jameis a shot. Like Rodney said, this kid is he's a big star. He had LASIK surgery, and he do good against teams that wear red.
Right.
Yeah, he do.
Man a shot. He can tell the difference between black and red. He wasn't colorblind.
Yeah,
Right.
He tell the difference, so he'll probably throw the ball to his team.
I'll be anxious to look at to see how we picked out because Lois Robinson has given us some little bit of she give us a little bit of dirt over here. She's trying to call us out. And I'll say this to Lois. Lois, ain't nobody know who you picked because we wasn't keeping grudge, so you could just be telling us all that.
Yeah, you could be lying, Lois Robinson.
We don't know what you're saying, what you're doing. But anyway, the scariest team in the playoffs. Who's the scariest team in the playoffs that you don't want to face in the AFC if they all get in? If it's the Dolphins, the Raiders, or the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Raiders, or the Ravens. Rodney, I'm gonna start out with you right there. To me, if I'm an AFC team in the top, I personally wouldn't want to see the Dolphins because the Dolphins is getting better and better and better. Out of between the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Ravens. That's who I would pick the Dolphins one of the team I wouldn't want to pick.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, for me, that's the Ravens all day, man. I mean, they've had a tough road this season. And but judging from the QB last week, he's gelling, he's getting down. He played a tough game. He played a game that meant something and won it. I put my money on him all day, every day. Okay, all right, Fig. Who would you put your money on? Would you not want to face the Dolphins, Raiders, or the Ravens if you were?
You know what? I still think that Tua Tagovailoa is still a little young. He hasn't faced that. He hasn't played any playoff games yet. The Raiders have just stepped up this year. They still this is their first year where they're relevant. Last year they wasn't relevant. Miami wasn't relevant last year. I would go with Baltimore because they've been to the dance already. They've been there, done that, and they see what it's like. They've tasted playoff football. Okay. So I like to go with the experience. You know what I mean? And Lamar Jackson is a beast. You know what I mean? So I'd like to go with the experience.
Tal, how about you?
Miami.
All day, right?
All day, man. It's not even close. Like you got to go with when you're coming up on the playoffs, you got to look at everybody's momentum. When you say who I don't want to play, and right now the scariest momentum belongs to Miami.
Yeah, I would have to agree because they got the momentum, and Baltimore ain't got no good defense. They let the Browns come back on them, in the last 2 quarters of the last game. I mean, the Ravens got some great highlights and everything else, but everybody seems to be overlooking the Browns put up 40+ points on them. So I mean,
but you talking about the Browns like the Browns is whack. The Browns are good.
Yeah, I know. And the Browns are good, and Baltimore can be good on both sides of the ball. So
But we're talking about who Pittsburgh don't want to see, though, right?
Huh?
We talking about who Pittsburgh don't want to see.
Right. No, but not necessarily just Pittsburgh. I'm saying anybody in the AFC. If you're in the AFC, it's going to either be Pittsburgh or Kansas City. And you know how they do the top seed versus the bottom seed? If you're the top seed, who do you not want to face?
Now, you top seed, you Kansas City. Who Kansas City don't want to see? You saying that's Miami?
No, I'm saying, Miami. I'm saying Miami. It probably could be the Raiders because the Raiders almost beat them twice. The Raiders beat them once. You could literally say that. But I think Kansas City probably have them figured out. If it's definitely Pittsburgh don't want to see nobody because Pittsburgh is going in the opposite direction. I think they're going to be one and done in the playoffs. A whole nother conversation. I think this is going to be the last question. So, let's see if we can get in two. Let me see if we can get in 2 more questions. The team that could make the Super Bowl, I saw this question this morning. The team that could make the Super Bowl because of their defense and run it and go all the way to the Super Bowl. Could it be the Rams? Could it be the Saints? Or am I missing somebody? Who do you think? I'm going to start with you, Talent. Could it be the Rams, the Saints, or somebody else? Now, the Saints have the best defense in the game. The Rams right now, statistically, have the second best defense in the game. Who do you think?
Rams. I will go with Rams. Again, watching the last couple of weeks and the momentum, and sometimes it ain't about losing. Sometimes you can lose and still have some great momentum. The last seconds just didn't go your way. I would go with the Rams. I think the Rams are most likely a team that's going to make a push and could go away.
Now, all right, Rodney, who you think?
I mean, the sexy pick is the Rams, but I like the Saints, man. The Saints are scrappy. They play great defense. If they can figure out this quarterback situation and the offensive side of the ball, they can win. They can win out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. They really could. They're scary right now. I think so. I would have to go with the Saints too because if they did put their defense and it played like the last couple of weeks, like people tend to forget, they smacked the Bucs. The Bucs are supposed to be the best offensive team in the game at the time. They they destroyed them. But anyway, who do you think?
You know what? The thing is that the most important player on any NFL team is the quarterback. And if you don't figure that out, like we know, I doubt very seriously that we're going to have a Drew Brees sighting. And for that reason alone, they going back and forth between Taysom Hill and Jameis Smith. Like, if you can't figure that out
by now,
then I don't trust you moving forward. You know what I mean? So I got to go with the Rams.
All right. Now,
let me hold up. Before you get to that last one, let me give Fig's props on yesterday. Fig said something that I just seen a highlight, and he was right. The cramps that your man had from the Ravens that had to lead the game.
The doodle.
He had the doodle. You right. I've seen the footage. They had the running inside the door. You right. He had the doodle.
Speaking of doodle, can I talk about the Dallas Cowboys? You like that? Can I talk about the Dallas Cowboys? I just want to throw it out there real fast and say Mike McCarthy went on record and said, I am keeping that quarterback. Every single day that he says he's going to, that coach, every single day that goes on, I have to be the one to believe that Dak Prescott has got to be talking to his reps, talking about, you know what? I don't want to be playing for the Cowboys no more. I mean, I don't know how he literally could even fathom, Roddy, tell me I'm wrong, how he would even want to fathom even coming back to the Cowboys right now. As all this time he's going on and on and on, and then he said, "Listen, let's lock this down." Because they went on record talking about Mike McCarthy, and you can't go on record committing to Dak Prescott. If I'm Dak, I'm like, yo, I'm out. What you, Roddy? What you think?
Hey, you know what? Out of everything you've ever said, that makes the most sense. And Dak should probably leave. He should leave, but I really get a sense that he won't, man. I think he likes Dallas. I think he loves that team. I think he loves wearing that star on his helmet. I think it's some other factors playing. Like financially, he should be out. He should have been out.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think the guy wants to leave, man. And I could be wrong, but I mean, what you're saying makes sense. But I don't know if this guy is even thinking like that.
I said that.
Callie, you want to add more to that?
I've always been saying that. I've always been saying the way he's been doing business with Dallas, that's the only thing that makes sense is what he's saying right now. Because in a business sense, any other player, any other team in any other league is not moving business-wise the way Dak has been moving. I agree and believe everything Rodney just said. I think that he loves that team so much that he's doing the unmentionable. He's doing the stuff that's people's like, why? Who would ever do that? But I guess if you want to be somewhere bad enough.
Yeah, you'll put up with anything. Fig, you got 60 seconds so we close out the show.
The thing is that unlike the NBA, football players don't really have a say-so. So Dak is pretty much, he's under contract for at least another year. So if Dallas Cowboys wants to sign him at least for that this 1 year, he has to stay there for one more year. But it wouldn't be my choice of destination because they got McCarthy there, and he hasn't proven that he could do anything with the talent that they had minus Dak. So
let me just
I don't know. And Zeke is not himself.
Let me just say this, Fig. He's franchised under this year. He's not really under a hard contract. He's franchised, and being the quarterback and being what he is, he could lean heavy on them to get rid of him and trade him because this upcoming season he'd be franchised. So he has some play. He has some kind of things that he could do. You know what I mean? So anyway,
but here's the thing: Jerry Jones is the one owner that doesn't fold under pressure. If he wants that, he's going to give him that franchise money and just hold him for one more year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would do that. He could do that too. All right, so that's the show, y'all. I gotta thank Shannon, Buchanan, Briggs for joining our show, and I absolutely love this show. Shannon gave us some great insight on what's going on behind the scenes of boxing and his possible upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. I gotta give huge thanks, kudos for that. Talent, you want to tell everybody out there how they can follow you?
Hey, follow me on Twitter. It's just comedy. Follow me on IG, Talent the Comedian. Follow me on Facebook, King Talent Harris. Let's go, man.
How about you, Rodney?
I'm right there. Rodney Perry Live.
Fig, you
can follow me on Rodney Perry Live too, God dug it. Boy, I'm gonna be over there, and then I'm gonna be upstairs at on all the Talent social media pages too. But let me tell you something. Monday through Friday, I'm right here on the box seats between 1 to 2, baby. The hottest sports show on television.
All right, y'all. That's the show. It's called The Box Seats. I'm Frank Holder. That's Talent. That's Fig. That's Rodney Perry. We are on every day, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2. We are also on the Humor Mill app. You can download the app, and you can even tell your friends to download the app. And we thank all of you all on this who've been chiming in. Starting tomorrow, we're going to ask questions of the audience. So all of you all who are participating, we really appreciate you. You can ask us questions. We'll post them up on the screen and all that. We're looking forward to that. So remember, this is the show called The Box Seats on the Humor Mill. Call your cable service provider to add that. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.